The Browns have signed 2 players in NFL free agency, so we're going to break down those moves for you guys on today's show. Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here with the first of 2 videos I plan on doing today because there's some really good wide receiver rumors out there that I want to talk about later in another video that I'll post this afternoon. But first, let's get to the free agent signing. So, Mary Kay reported this morning that linebacker Jordan Kunaszyk re-signed with the Browns today on a 1-year deal. Jordan Kunaszyk, if you don't recall, a UDFA out of Cal, started his career with the Carolina Panthers. Then he was with the Washington football team. And now he's with the Cleveland Browns for stint number 2, right, for his second year with the Browns. Last year, 22 tackles, no sacks. When the linebacker room was absolutely decimated, he got some more opportunities, some more snaps, some more games played. I thought he played pretty well. I remember in the preseason in the Jags game, I was like, this Kunashik guy, I really got to learn how to pronounce his name because I feel like he could make some plays during the regular season. Now, like I said, Kunashik is on his 3rd team. Throughout his career, he has played in 41 games. Here are his stats: 36 tackles, 1 forced fumble. He's primarily been a special teamer as, well, let's be honest, all UDFAs tend to be, but he's definitely had some nice plays when he's gotten an opportunity during the defensive side of things. Now, the linebacker depth chart for the Browns, it still needs some tender loving care. I think right now you've got JOK, Jacob Phillips, and Taki as your 3 starters. I saw Anthony Walker was visiting, speaking of the Commanders, or Washington at least, the Commanders today. Kunashik, Tony Fields, and Stoney Jackson are the backups at the moment. I feel like the Browns are going to draft a linebacker with one of their first 3-4 picks, right? Sort of make it a bigger priority than maybe we thought it would be back in January, with them going a little skinny at the linebacker position during free agency. So let me know what you guys think about this question. I always like to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Should the Browns prioritize linebacker in the draft? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Love to know what you have to say about this. Now, one person that's going to love this signing and the next signing is the new special teams coordinator, Bubba Ventrone, because these 2 guys are special team heroes, right? These are gritty players who don't mind getting a little bit dirty and making some tough blocks during punt returns, kickoffs, all that good stuff. So Bubba Ventrone, you're going to love the Kunashik signing, but I really think you're going to like the next signing, which we'll look at in just a second. But these moves aren't blockbuster signings, so I do want to take 30 seconds to just do a quick reminder right now. Because I've seen a lot of negativity out in the Browns Twitter world and other Browns spots and whatnot. Cleveland added 3 defensive starters in Obo, Juan Thornhill, and Dalvin Tomlinson. They got better at special teams coordinator with Ventrone, way better at defensive coordinator with Jim Schwartz. And I haven't even touched on how I think Deshaun Watson's going to get back to his Pro Bowl level in 2023. So there's a lot of gloom out there right now because the Browns haven't gotten a big name receiver and they didn't get Brandon Cooks, and all it cost was a couple day 3 picks. I'm here to say RELAX. The Browns have improved vastly this offseason. I'm not a mouthpiece. I'm not an absolute sheep. I definitely call it how I see it, and I think the Browns have just gotten better throughout the offseason. Now, never miss any sort of Browns signing when you're subscribed to the channel. We cover them all, big or small, so make sure to hit that sub button. We're trying to reach the next milestone here at the channel, 18,000 subscribers. So if you're looking for a daily Cleveland Browns YouTube channel, you have found the right place. Now, moving on to signing number 2, Ian Rappaport tweeted out this morning that Falcons cornerback Mike Ford, a special teams ace, is signing with the Browns on a 1-year deal worth up to $2.25 million. Probably a good chunk of incentives put in there, but this is another signing of boosting that special teams that really last year was just outside of the DPJ punt return in Houston, meh. Jerome Ford had some nice kick returns here and there, but never felt like we got a good spark out of that unit. Minus some block kicks against Justin Tucker. That's always nice. But you got to love this, right? Michael Ford already knowing what being a Cleveland Brown is all about. Tweeting out the dog pound. Love to see it. Welcome aboard. Here we go, Brownies, Michael Ford. Glad to have you on the right side of things. Michael Ford, the guy who everyone loves the college when it comes to scoreboard bugs, went to Southeast Missouri State, SEMO. He was with the Detroit Lions for a while as a UDFA out of college. Then he went to the Broncos. Then he went to the Falcons, and that's what he did last year in Atlanta, 15 tackles. Throughout his career, like I said, he's always primarily been a special teamer, but now you've got some extra depth at cornerback. 70 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 4 pass breakups. If Denzel Ward misses some time and everyone moves up a slot, right now you've got A.J. Green's backup if A.J. Green gets tossed into a starting role. The Browns cornerback room after this signing, I did it, guys. I put Martin Emerson at CB2. I usually had slot below Greg Newsome, but if he's adamant that he does not want to play slot because, well, let's be honest, slot corners are not paid as highly as outside corners are, we've got an interesting dilemma for Jim Schwartz to figure out. Now, the Browns cap space, by the way, in case you're wondering, after these 2 signings, it's always fluid because you never know exactly how much of the money is going to count against the cap until the nerds really break it down. But put it at about $9 million. So the Browns, one, need to have enough money to pay their rookie class, which without having a first-round pick, there won't be any big expensive rookie contracts. But they also want to have some money in the bank in case they want to make a mid-season free agent signing because someone got hurt, or they want to roll some of it over to next season. So with that, I'd like to transition to this. Do you think the Browns should go out and sign more players? They don't have a ton of money. Now, they could free up some money. They could restructure contracts, although I think with Deshaun Watson's restructure, it might not be the wisest thing to kick more money down the road. I don't think they should get wild with that. So let me know, S for sign or P for pass. Unpopular opinion, outside of adding a receiver, and if it's expensive, probably not, I think Cleveland's set in free agency. Like, they'll sign some low-level guys to non-guaranteed money just to get to 90-man for training camp, but I don't think the Browns are in the market now to make some more bigger splash signings. I think they are pretty much set in that department. And you know what? That's completely fine. Because the beauty of the NFL offseason is you don't have to check every single box with Sharpie through free agency. There's this thing you might have heard of called the NFL draft. And that's also a good spot to fill out the rest of your roster. So if the Browns look at their roster and go, the last thing we've really got to get done is wide receiver, that might just be through the NFL draft, whether that's trading a pick away for a receiver or just drafting a receiver in round number 2 and sort of calling it a day with, you know what, we're content to move forward with Cooper, DPJ, David Bell, a rookie, and Michael Woods and see where that gets us. And I understand that might be a bit deflating for all the talk of adding speed, but I think that could actually be an okay wide receiver room with Deshaun Watson, which, by the way, he's paid $230 million for a lot of reasons. One of them being he elevates receivers. So I'm expecting more out of David Bell, Michael Woods, and a rookie receiver, and it's not boom or bust if they don't get Mecole Hardman or someone else. Now, like I said at the start of the video, check back in a couple of hours. I planned out a really fun show for today. Then the Browns made 2 signings. I'm like, you know what? Let's talk about that in the early afternoon, and then we'll put out another video later this afternoon, early evening, so you can watch it after dinner. So check back in later here on the channel for another Browns video.